And today is very exciting as we wrap up setting. We're going to be looking at emotional impact. So Christina, take us in and tell us about emotional impact because it's a big one.
Yeah, it's actually, I saved it till last in the setting ones because it's my favorite, because it can do so much for a story. And when you're thinking about this, after you've got your first draft and you're looking at the emotional impact of every scene, for me anyway, it just sparks my creativity and really gets me imagining the story world and where it's going. And so I love working on this part.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, tell us why it's important and how to work with it.
Okay. So people are reading because they want an emotional experience, right? And so if you're not giving that, then you might as well write a nonfiction book, which is great. However, if you're writing fiction, you want to create emotion, and setting is a great way to do that. So for every scene, you want to be looking at, did you locate that scene in the place that will give maximum emotional impact to the characters and to the reader? So that's a big question.
So use the setting for your emotional impact. What are the pitfalls when we don't use it correctly? I guess boredom.
Boredom is the biggest pitfall, and you're dead on, because it's easy as a writer to get in location habits.
Yeah. And
so you have the scene taking place again and again in the same location. And so if it goes back to the character arc. If the setting is neutral to your character, you haven't used it well. If it is something that it will change the emotional state of your point of view character or your protagonist from the beginning of the scene to the ending of the scene, from a positive to a negative or a negative to a positive, that setting has done something for you. Mm-hmm. So we go back to looking at what is the impact on the point of view character and what is the impact. And if the setting has none, maybe you could do a better setting. Now, there are cases where setting's not really relevant, and that's fine. Just acknowledge that you're not using that element to its best advantage. But if you can, think if you have a couple who desperately want to get away from each other and they're arguing, but they're on a chairlift and the chairlift breaks down. Okay, they can't go anywhere. Now they're stuck, right? So They can't walk away. And the tension rises, where if they were just, hanging around in the ski lodge, they can go their separate ways and the conversation is over. Okay, there's nothing keeping them there. So really think hard about every setting. Is there a way you can up tension, conflict within your scene changing the location?
Excellent. Excellent. So what is our assignment to do today?
So you know it.
I know it.
It's going through. And again, I just want to repeat, when you do the fictionary story elements, you can do a bunch of them at the same time. You don't have to go through Absolutely. 38 times. So for setting, all you want to do is write down the location where that scene takes place. You want to look for patterns. So are you always in a coffee shop? Are you always in a person's office? And maybe that's important to the story, but if it's not, you want to be changing it. So keep track of multiple locations. Repeated locations, and see if you can change them to make the story more exciting. Look for locations. This is a bit harder. You look at the opposite side of, where in my story world do my characters never go? And your story world. So where do they not go? Perhaps I could use one of those settings just to add motion and get things going. And motion is another element that links with this one, because when characters move from location to location, pacing picks up because they're moving and they're not sitting in one place.
Exactly. Well, this is great. We have been doing this series. We're wrapping up setting today, which is fantastic. I think we can have a little party there.
Thanks for watching. Try Fictionary Storyteller free for 2 weeks at fictionary.co. Storyteller will get you one step closer to telling that powerful story you dream of.